Hello, hello, and welcome to my TikTok live. I am Royal Statements, and so I am here and I will be showcasing how to assemble and put together two different styles of notebooks. So as you're coming in, do me a favor. If you're not a follower of me here on TikTok, be sure to follow me here. And yeah, come on in. So as you're coming in, please introduce yourself. Let me know if it's your first time joining me. You can join me last week. Last week when we met, I created 3 different covers on using Canva, and I showcased those steps. And so today we are assembling those covers. But before we get started, I want to share with you all the 3 different machines I have that can be used to help you assemble. Now, I am also watching on my iPad, so if it's a delay in responding to you, because I'm trying to watch for the comments. So, as you're coming in, say hello, Kay. Please share this live out, and let's get started. So, I have 3 different machines. This machine is called an ARC. I purchased this long time ago from Staples. And so it's in the locked position right now. And so you press down to unlock and it opens up. Now this machine, you use it when you are creating a disc bound planner. So I'll show you how these holes look. So you put it in, you press down, and you will have, hello, CRT Thomas, and you will have these particular holes. So these holes are for a disc-bound planner notebook, which means your customer is able to add sheets as they want to continue on. So this is really good. This can be a game changer if you want to offer planners as a part of your business. You can then offer planner covers that also use the ARC. So remember, I want you to think long term, not short term. So this is an ARC type of planner and it uses discs. Let me show you how that looks. I have something here. And this is how it looks, okay? You have your discs that go here, and you can take away and simply add in, all right? So again, take away and then add back in. This is good because it offers your customer an option to continue to purchase from you. Hello, the one more, they can continue to purchase from you and just gain the inserts and buy the guts and buy a cover. All right, so this is the ARC. And this I purchased from Staples. I do not remember the pricing of it, but I bought it from Staples, and this is how it comes out, little mushroom holes. And you have your discs that are inserted in there, and it gives your customer the option to, again, buy another pre-punched cover from you or buy the guts, the inside of that particular notebook or planner, should they want to add more pages without having to buy a whole new type of planner or notebook, all right? So this is the ARC, and I purchased this one from Staples. It has the mushroom type of hole punches. Does anyone have any questions about the ARC? And it is the ARC. It's a bit dusty, but that's it. I do not use it as much as I used to, but I may need to try to pull it back out again. But that's the ARC. Any questions about the ARC? All right. So, and I'm talking slow, y'all, because I want everyone to be able to hear me and everyone to be able to ask their question prior to me moving forward. So if at any time I move too fast or I'm talking too fast, please let me know. So for tonight's video, the two machines that we're going to use, the first one is this machine, and this is my TruBind coil binding machine. All right, it's TruBind TBS20, and it's a 4-to-1 punch. And you can see, can you see? Yeah, right here you have the number of punches that come with it. Now I'm going to shift this down some. All right, so this right here, this is going to be your best friend when you are punching, because when you have regular paper that you're punching, you always start here, and you can lock it. Mine's just not locked. You can start here, and you pull down, you punch your holes, and these are the holes for the spiral. Now, this part is going to be your best friend, because when you laminate your paper, it is in a larger sized pouch than what your paper comes as. And so I shift that down, and that is going to be where I hold it for my covers when I punch. And I'll punch again, and I'll probably overlapping, so you may not be able to tell the difference. But it punched a little bit more down there, and that's the difference between when you have your laminate cover and just regular paper. Now, I did not pre-punch all of my paper tonight, so when I punch, you will see it all go down as it is supposed to go down. All right, so if I make a mistake, you see my mistakes. If I don't, that's fine. But that's what this live is about. It's about showing you how to do, and I never mind messing up or showing a mistake, because I'm human. These things happen, and that's how we learn and grow, right? Okay, so this is the TruBind coil system, coiling machine. I'll put that over to the side. Now, I do want to let you all know, when I first started my crafting, and I went out and bought the cinch, because that's what all the girlies were talking about. So I purchased my cinch. But then, after getting my cinch, I did not take the time to fully understand how to work the cinch, okay? So don't be a Shanika. Don't buy something and not try to learn. So I bought it. I didn't take my time, and I sold it. I got rid of it. And then a good friend of mine, she was barking in my ear, telling me, why? So then I went back out and I bought the cinch. And so now I have it here, and I will showcase how to punch those holes tonight as well. All right. And I want you all to know that the tools that I'll be using tonight, they are exclusive to Au Paperie. She creates wonderful items. She created the template that I used on last week for the A5. And so these are different binding materials binding tools to use when you assemble and put together a notebook, a planner, journal, whatever the case. So Au Paperie, and I'll share that website later on. I will share it. The one, I'm sorry. The one, oh my gosh, girl. The one more, I'm sorry. Let me go out really fast, because I want to make sure that everyone has what they need, right? So let me go to I'm going to it right now on my iPad so you can see. Thank you, Mo. Girl, I'm struggling over here. All right, so this is her site right here. And so this is the site. It's aupaperie.com. And so she has different guides that you can use when you are putting together your particular items. Tons of stuff, placement tools, everything. So yes, head to that site. Now, she also, let me see, because she also, okay, designing templates. Yep. Those are just, sorry. Let me see. I want the digital items for you. All right, so let me click on here and then, this one is paper. It's a PayHip shop. So payhip.com, and then you should do a backslash and papery. All right, and so this is her PayHip site, and this is the A5 designing template that I used last week. You're welcome. So she has a site for her digital items and a site for her physical items. This is the digital file right here for the A5, and then that is on payhip.com/opapery. And then for the physical items, you can go to opapery.com, and it will be there for all the guides that you will need when you are assembling your notebooks, planners, and such. All right. So that is there, and that's where I purchased mine. All right. So now we are going to forge ahead, and I will put this to the side, and I will go with what's familiar to me first, and I will use my TruBind. And I've already printed out my items that I need. So this is going to be the cover for that A5 notebook. And that's the inside of that notebook right there. So that was done last week on live. It's already printed out and ready to go on my sticker paper. That is matte sticker paper. It's koala matte sticker paper. And then I have my cover for the bigger sized notebook that is here. And so I use the jet setter. So we have the jet setter cover, and then this is the back of that printout. And on this, I used my glossy paper only because I did not have any matte paper cut down to size. But when I put it together with the lamination sheets, it will not be, it's gonna look good. All right, so first of all, I was intimidated by this. Hello, Chandra. I was intimidated because, like I said earlier, your paper is going to be larger than the lamination pouch, right? That's the paper. And this is the lamination pouch. So you see around the corner how much larger it is. And that's how it is supposed to be, because you want to have some extra, because your paper, the inside will line up with this sheet. And so that lamination is just going to be extra for what you are doing. Let me find. All right. So this is how it looks, right? And this was printed using my laser printer, so we do not have a borderless printing. But this is the lamination cover on that, and that's how it looks when it's bound together, right there. All right, so let's put this inside, and this is going to be our front. I always turn to the side just because that's what I do. There's no right or wrong way to do it. Do what works best for you. But you want to, as best you can, have be even, because this is the side that you are going to punch. This is the side that's going to have the holes put inside of it. All right. So that's the front. And now I have to do the back. Now, for my back, I flip it over and I shift it the same way. Why? Because when I go to punch the holes, that's how it's going to be, because that's how you open it up, right? Okay. So That's the back. Done. Like so. And so then what I do is I put them on top of each other just to make sure that they are lined up as evenly as possible, that I don't see the white from the other on the other side. And it's as best as it can be done. All right, so I'm just checking to make sure I have it where it needs to be. And I've already turned my lamination machine on. And remember, this is a 10 mil pouch. And so it has to get to a certain temperature to then seal and contain the paper. So it has to get to 300. Let me go back and look because I'm not buying. 338. So that is still warming up. I'm going to move this to the side and then punch my holes and then come back to do the other part. All right, so that's on the side. Let me shift these things out of the way. And then I will get my TruBind together and start punching my holes. Trying to shift it over to make sure you all can see what I'm doing as I do it. Does anyone have any questions so far about what I have covered? Any questions so far about what I have covered? Hello, Pam. How are you? All right. That's as close as I can get it. All right. We're at an angle right now. Okay. So I do not put all of my paper in at the same time because I don't want to mess up, right? Remember what I said. This right here, this is going to be your cutoff mark. So the laminate covers came from Amazon. Hello, Designs by Cassandra. Okay, so can y'all see that where I am? I think I shifted the camera. Okay, yeah, that's perfect. All right, so now this is the line that I want to be on. I put my paper. Make sure you have the paper firmly pushed in all the way to the back because sometimes it can get cut off and you have paper that is punched sideways. And that's how it turns out once you print. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and punch my holes. I did more paper that time, but it still came out good. All right, and I have a few more to go. And my lamination machine is ready to take my pages, and then that part shall be done. All right, so this part is done. All of my pages are evenly punched. You can see straight through, and that is good. I'm going to run my covers to the lamination machine. I cannot show this process because I'm already set up over here and I don't want to mess up a good thing. But if you have a question, go to my YouTube channel and I showed how to insert the pouch to laminate if you have a question about that. And please make sure you follow me on YouTube and on TikTok to be aware the next time that I go live. This is my last live for the month of July. I do go back to work, sadly, next week, but that's good. I'm glad for a job, right? But I go back to work next week. And so then starting in August, I will do monthly lives. I do not have a date nor a time set just yet, but my lives after today will be just once a month. And so this is that cover laminated. Remember, this is the side that's going to be punched with the holes. That's the cover. And this is the back of that. Okay. Thank you, Chandra. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So, ooh, it's hot. You can put both in there. I'm going to do one at a time because I want to make sure that everything is lined up correctly. So, remember what I said earlier about how this black line is your marker and the lamination pouch is going to be a little bit over it. So see, when I shift down, I still have my paper that's on the inside on that black line because that again is still my marker. So even if you're not laminating your insides, that black line is there from just no lamination to lamination. The black line is your marker. And this locks. I don't have it locked because I have to shift down for the lamination pouch. So now I'm going to, again, make sure I have it pushed back all the way to the back of this. And then I'm going to punch my holes. And as you can see, it came out. And now my back. Punched out. Right? So that is all that I need to do with my TruBind machine. All right. So now it is time to add your coils to your notebook. Now I have various sizes and colors of coils. So these are all different sized coils and colors that I have here. Now the different sizes of coils, and y'all don't ask me now because I do not have written down, but the sizes matter because the sizing is what you use for the amount of paper that you use. Okay. So for instance, I do know that this coil right here, I use this when I'm assembling calendars. They only have about 12, maybe 12 pages, front and back. And so this is a perfect size for a calendar. These are the perfect size for this type of notebook. I have about 50 sheets front and back, and this size works wonderfully for that. This size I have used on a planner. So just know that this will go well for a planner size that has more than 50 sheets back to back. And this is for a bit bigger than that. So all those sizes are different, and it's based upon the amount of pages that you put inside of the planner or notebook. All right, so I have these, yes, Amazon as well. I have these two coils here, and I was trying to decide which one I was going to use. And I think that I'm going to do the clear because that helps the image stand out more so than just the white, I think. So we'll do clear for tonight. Okay, so again, we're going to make sure that all of our holes line up because they have to line up when we are assembling together to ensure that everything flows and goes the way that it is supposed to go. All right, so we have it lined up. I turn mine to the side, and then I just insert my coils. Thank you, Kay. Okay, so this is the coil, and you stick it in the hole, and then you just push it through. I turn to the side. Hopefully that's a better view for you all. I'm not really sure what the best view is. All right. We slide the coil through all of the holes for the bottom. Sorry, I had to drop it. I couldn't hold it up like that. Once I get this bottom one in, then it's going to be a breeze. They do have other binding machines that actually do this process for you, but this is the one that I purchased, and this is one I'm using. So you do what works best for you. The line pages I print out at home, just some white paper, and I printed the lines out at home. And then we just push it through. We just push it through. It's getting hooked on paper back here. That's why it's acting funny on me and not wanting to go through. All right. Almost done. I'm not sure why this paper is acting up on me. That's like your kids at home. When you have company coming over, they want to act up. All right. Okay, so now we have our coil all the way through. It's all the way through, and we have a bit left over on both sides, this side and that side. So this is our crimping tool. You see that red dot on that tool? The red dot always stays up. The red dot is always up whenever you are crimping your notebook, because that is going to dictate how you turn it. And I'm going to show you. So we have our crimping tool here. All right. It's up. Make sure you all can see. This is up. And then I'm going to simply crimp it and then turn it, and it is done. Right? Then I simply flip it over. Again, my red is still up. I crimp it, press, twist, and it is done. And your notebook has been assembled, and it is ready to go. No, I did not use cardstock. I did not have my matte paper cut down to size, and so I used glossy chip bag paper, basically, for my cover. Whenever I laminate, I don't use cardstock. So if you do not have a lamination machine that can laminate up for the 10 mil pouch, then yes, use cardstock and a regular laminating machine for that. If you do have one that goes up to 340, then I don't suggest using cardstock because it'll be too thick. You don't want your covers to be too thick and that people will not be able to, one, if it's too thick, it won't stick. The glue will not be able to adhere very well. So I have my TruLam that heats up to 340 degrees. And so therefore, no cardstock is used on my notebooks. And again, with this lamination, that's how it sounds. That's how the lamination sounds once it's been done. And you can, within reason, you can bend or whatever, and it's gonna hold up. So that's what I use for all of my spiral bound notebooks. I use my 10 mil laminating pouches, laminate my covers. I have my lined paper on the inside, and that is it. Okay, so that is there. And again, on the back, I have my logo that's there, so people know where it came from. And then my covers, they match. This one is this is a close-up version, and this is not, but it's still the same exact image. And I don't know if I told you all, but this shirt came from Shein. And so I typed in exactly what I wanted to see. Show me a woman on New York Street with this attached image wearing this shirt and having cut-off jean shorts with espadrilles on her feet. And that's all I asked for the outfit. But of course, you have to be more descriptive when it comes to hair, skin color, lashes, jewelry, all that jazz. But this is what I did for this. And I am considering doing a class. It would be a paid class just to help others, if you want it, to learn how to really hone in and tighten up your AI art skills. Because it's a skill that is needed and a skill worth having. And if I can impart some wisdom or share my knowledge with other people, I am more than happy to do that. So that's something I'm still considering and playing around with. Not exactly sure. All right, so this is our spiral bound notebook that is done. So next up is our chipboard. So let me gather all of my tools for my chipboard using the Cinch. Okay. So these are my tools for this chipboard right here. I have my sticker paper. This is matte sticker paper. No, I do not put anything over it. I do not do self lamination. It's just the sticker paper itself. I'm not adding anything else to it. So that is semi-gloss, and this is matte. So there is a difference between the two. You can't really tell right now, but that's matte and that's the semi-gloss. And then this one is truly glossy. So you again have to figure out for yourself which style you prefer and which style you like. So these are both glossy. All of these are glossy. So you see the glossiness sticking up, right? And then this is the matte. So that is somewhat of the difference between the two. Both are nice, but I think I want to do something in the middle and just do the semi-gloss for that. All right, so let's get started. Move my stuff around. First, I want to put my sticker paper on the chipboard, and then I just punch everything at one time. Make it a little bit easier. All right, so I need to trim all of my edges. All of the white needs to be gone and be bye-bye. So these are my Fiskars, and I'm going to just trim all of my edges. Just trying to make sure it's nice and neat, nice and even. Get stuck. Does anyone have any questions so far? Any questions so far? So most of my materials, yes, can be found on Amazon. The sticker paper is on Amazon. Or you can order direct from Koala. It's Koala paper. So you can choose where you want to go. Most people use Amazon. Why? Because of 2-day shipping if you have Amazon Prime. But it's truly up to you. So that's one that's cut out. And this is the back. Does anyone have plans for tonight? My plans are to take my shower once I am done, and I'm going to prop my leg up on the couch, and I am going to watch Married at First Sight. I started watching during COVID, and I slacked off some, but this particular season I'm kind of interested, so I'll watch that and see what comes about. How about the little machine? They have so many. Which little machine are you referring to, her? Which little machine? That's my back. And then these are the inside. Reading is good. What books are you reading? I go back and forth between books on my Kindle and going to the library. I love having make spiral notebooks. Yes. I love having a book in my hands to read physically, but I don't like buying them because I read them so fast. And then I do the same thing on the Kindle, but at least I'm not buying it and having it sit on my shelf just collecting dust. So I have downloaded some books on my Kindle to read as well. I had to go to work today, so I'm trying to decompress. Reading would be good, but right now I just want to like veg out. Judge Stone. Okay, was it good? Is it it's a thriller? All right, and this is my inside cut out. So these are all of. Okay, Walter Mosley is very good. Good. All right, so these are cut. Now I am going to peel the back of the sticker paper off. Thriller Mystery. Okay, good. Peel my sticker paper off so I can apply it. Okay, so that's the back of it. And then what I need and what I want to do is to put this here and make sure that it's covered and nothing is hanging over, because this is my guide to add in my chipboard, right? So it's all covered, And then you simply place your chipboard inside, because that guide, it now gives you have an even border all around. Where did I get what? My chipboard, you can purchase that on Amazon. This guide came from Old Papery. She has several different guides on her site, and I can go back to that site so you can see what she offers, what all she offers. All right, so this is going to be here to help me trim my edges. Yes, they're guides. I'll show you again when I'm done. So I come here, trim that part off, okay? I'm here, trim that part off. I think I was supposed to do this first. Yeah. And I just stick my sticker paper in the back of my hand until it's all done. All right, so that part is done. And now what you do is you simply, I am doing this just to give it kind of a bend to it, but you simply just fold it over. Look, y'all, you have your chipboard cover. That's the back. And now this insert goes right here to then cover this portion. And it's also sized to cover some of the overlap too. And again, this template for this is found on Old Papery, and I'll go back and showcase where you can find that, okay, once I'm done. So someone designs, please remind me so I do not forget. I'll hold it in place just to make sure it doesn't shift once I start peeling the paper off of the back of it. All right. So that's right there. And then you can use your squeegee if you like to then make sure you don't have any bubbles, and then just go down. I kind of messed up some. It's kind of crooked, but it's all good. So this is the back, and that's the inside. One down, one more to go. So again, you flip it over, you peel this paper off, pull it off. And then you take this guide and put it on the edge. Make sure you have the right edge, not the bottom or whatever, not the top I meant. And you place it here and then pick it up to ensure that it covers that particular one. Mine's purple because I'm Royal Statements for purple. So that's there. Then you're going to simply insert your chipboard against the guide, and then that lines everything up perfectly, and you are ready to start cutting. Okay. So. I don't know about y'all, but it is very satisfying to me to be able to see the final product of something that I created and made. And I think that's one of my whys of why I keep on doing this, because I love to create. Now, I was always not passionate about creating, and I never saw myself doing this, but here I am, and this is an area in the lane that I do love for myself. So don't get bogged down with the crafting aspect and about making the money. And my friend and I talked about this today. Money, making money. We all want to make money, right? But you should always do something for the love. If you find yourself doing it solely for the money, then the love has already exited stage left. So, yes, it can be time consuming. Yes, you can buy these things yourself from the store. But I'm here to tell you, nobody else is going to have a chipboard book looking like this. Not in the stores anyway, because it's something that I created. All right, last one. All right, that is out of the way. And so again, we are going to semi-fold, not all the way, just a little bit to get that bend. And then we start the folding process. Okay, that part is done. So now we want to put the inside, and you want to make sure that you have it lined up and it's the right way and not upside down. Okay. Again, you want to hold it in place so that when you take the backing off of it, it's not crooked and it's straight. Okay. Now we have our covers that are done. So this is the front, and this is the back, and these are the insides. All right, so put these tools to the side. Now it's time to cinch it all together. So bring over the cinch. And I don't know if you're talking about this machine or not. Did you ask that question? Who asked that question? But the cinch has various varieties that it comes in. Those varieties can be for smaller size paper, and it's also about the holes that it gives. So I'm not sure why she does not make, well, I know why, because they're different machines. So they're all different. So you have to buy the different ones to get the whole punch that you want. This one gives me the squared punches. And this can be ordered off of Amazon. I purchased, remember I had one earlier that I sold. I purchased this one from Marketplace on Facebook. So you may want to, this is an A5. So the A5 template guide that I showed last week, this is an A5. So you may want to check Facebook Marketplace, see if they have anything on there that you can purchase. It can be a very good place to find things. All right, so now I have mine marked. There is a bit of a difference between the sizing for the cover and the paper, not much, but you do want to make sure that you have it lined up where it needs to be. Now, I know that it's sideways, so let me try to turn it this way so y'all can see. So you just want to make sure you have it lined up exactly where it needs to be, right? So I'm going to slide this in all the way over. All right. We have our holes that are there. Again, this is the back. Now, be careful when you're doing this so you know where your back goes. So this is the back, right? I have to ensure I slide it in this way and not this way, because that will, well, I could, but I'm doing it my way just make sure I get it done right. So do what works best for you, but make sure you have the front and back together in the correct way. I hope what I said makes sense. All right, slide it in, push all the way back. Then I'm going to press down. All right, so my front and backs have been cinched. You see the holes that are there, and that is done. All right, so next up is a paper. Now remember, I have two different spaces marked on my ruler. So I'm going to shift it up for my paper. Why do I do that? Because your paper is going to be smaller than your cover. And so you want that overlap there. And so you don't want your paper to hang out over. And that's why it's done. So let me show you all how the paper, this type of paper is going to look inside, right? You see it's no overlap. It's not hanging over. It's right there. All right. So let me go ahead and punch my paper. And for this part, it doesn't matter upside down or whatever. You can just punch because it's lined. There's nothing really. All right, that portion is done. Now, you want to come over here. You asked about the paper. Let me see. The paper is sized at about 5.75 by 8.25. 5.75 by 8.25. Okay, so now we're going to put our paper and our cover together like so. Remember, we want to make sure that we have our holes lined up. But when we come to the back of this machine, we are going to flip it. All right, we're going to flip it like so. All right, now, and this may be kind of hard for you all to see, but this is the back of where everything goes. And so Old Papery, they also have this guide to there. You place that inside and it fits like that. And that it won't hold your coils in place. It's not going to lock in place, but it's a guide more so than anything else. And the mouth of the coil that's open, it goes to the back of the machine. And so that typically kind of holds your coils in place. Hope y'all can see that. Now, I cannot hold it while I'm doing it because I'm going to mess up. So, I'm going to put it in. One thing that I do not have tonight, y'all, one thing that I do not have tonight is going to be the crimping tool to cut this off once it hits the cinch machine. That just came to my mind. I can use my other one, but it's just going to be a bit trickier to use that. I do not have that. Gosh darn it. All right. So, all right. My paper is in place. It is all there, like so. And then I'm going to simply shift it down so that when I put it in, this will be towards the back. It should not be like this way. It should not be down. It should be just like this. And so I'm putting it in inside the holes. It'll sit like so. And then you simply press it down. Go slow. I gotta do a little bit more. All right, and so that is how it's going to look. Let me use my other tool. It's not going to be perfect, but you can kind of see what I'm talking about because you see how that's turned down. This is not going to fully cut like that, but let's see what I'm working with. Okay. So it cut so. All right, so now we close it, and that is our book. It's done. So tonight you have seen me assemble 2 different style notebooks. You have your cinch style, and then you have your spiral bound style. So 2 different methods, equally wonderful, but you choose what works best for you, for your customers, and for your business. Does anyone have any questions? Thank you, Mo. And I use my Cinch and my TruBind. So these are 2 that have been assembled and then put together, and they're ready to sell. All right. So don't be afraid to try new things. Try it out. Now, something I do want to show you all is if you still don't have your if you still don't have your chat GPT skills up to date, I'm going to show you something. But first, her or whoever asked the question, Old Papery. oldpapery.com, she offers different style of binding tools. So this is her website, and you can see all of the items she offers here. She offers various sizes. She offers the template for a Post-it note, and I have a lot of her stuff here in my arsenal. The thing I showed you all earlier, was created for the Post-it note. So this is a Post-it note holder right here, and your Post-it notes go inside, and that's it. You can add an elastic band around it to hold it in place if you want to, but that's that. So all of these things are there. Like I said, I have tons and tons of her tools. And so what I may do, because in August I said I was going to showcase doing greeting cards, but I'm not sure when, but I will do a live showcasing the different tools that she offers and how to use them. Because, you know, stationery is more than just a notebook. It's more than just a journal. It can be so much more. So I may do a live offering that later on. Sorry, my iPad went black. All right, so that is her website. Now, her digital item, her A5 design that I used last week, can be found on her PayHip site. It's payhip.com/oldpapery, and that's just $5. And that template design is what you're going to use to design this for your covers and then for your inside. I did this last week on my site, and so on my live, and so that's what I used. This is what I used for this. Yes, I have two different machines because they're two different binding types. I'll show you the machines again before I leave, okay? Now, something I want to share with you all, if you don't have access to the template, if you don't have access to creating in Chat GPT, designing different items, images, what I have done this week on my PayHip site, I am offering cover kits. The cover kits include your front and back covers for the letter size and also include PNG images to use that you can then design with. So this is the cover kit for the letter size, which is what we did right here. You have that there, and then you have the cover kit for the A5 size, which is this one. And then I have already done the hard work for you. I have this cover kit 1. This is the letter size, and then the cover kit 1 A5 size. So these are all $5.99 on my shop. So you have two sizes of two different styles. Back to school, and we have our jet setter. They're both $5.99. All are $5.99 for the letter size and for the A5 size. I don't want anyone having any excuses about not being able to do, because I have done the heavy lifting and I'm giving you templates to purchase and download and begin to create. No one should have a barrier to create. So, yes, I used two different machines tonight. For the A5, I used the Cinch, right? I used the Cinch for the A5. For the letter size, I used my TruBind binding system, and that punches your holes for the spiral type of notebook. So that's the TruBind right there. And then I also showcased another machine that I have kind of neglected, but I think I need to pick her back up. And this is called the Arc. Thank you, Miss T. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This is called the Arc. And then the Arc, when it punches, it gives you the mushroom type of punch, and that can be used for discs right here. And this is an example of what that looks like here. So you have your discs. Take them out of storage. Take them out of storage. So that's an example of this. So this is a good offering if you want to offer your customers a cover, and they can have the option to repurchase the cover versus getting the insides of a planner or a notebook. So many different ways to skin a cat. You figure out which method will work best for you. You're welcome, her. Did you say the A5 design guide? The A5 design guide, yes, that is on Old Papery's website. That is here. And this is a website. And so on here, this right here is what I used earlier. That's the 15 mm, the L letter size. And this is a corner cutter tool. So she has those things that are there. Great, Penelope. Great. Use it, girl. Use it. All right. Anyone have any more questions? And then her design template is here on her PayHip site, payhip.com/oldpapery. And then I have the cover kits available for you to purchase. So I've already done the hard work. You just print it and assemble. So many different things going on. I did not buy the line paper. I have my paper that I printed at home with lines on them. What's PayHip, Penelope? What PayHip are you asking about? Yes, Old Papery. Let me type it in for you. All right. Does anyone have any more questions? The spirals, yes. The spirals for this came from Amazon. The spirals for the cinch, last summer, Michaels was having a sale. And so I got this from Michaels for about 50% off. And so I got many different colors. But of course, they do have this available, I'm quite sure, on Amazon as well. So search what you need. But yeah, this is on sale at Michaels, like 50% off. And I cannot remember how much I paid for it. And remember, the size spirals that you get matters. The spiral sizing is based upon the amount of pages that you have within your creation. I use this size spiral when I'm doing calendars. I used this size spiral to do that notebook. I have this in red, white, and clear. And then these are other. Oh, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Do your stuff in the house and save yourself some money. So these are all the spirals that can be found. Y'all, this is crazy. I even have spirals that are this size. A girl purchased a planner for her sorority and it had tons of pages. And so this is a spiral, like a yo-yo, but a spiral that I used for that particular planner. So look at your spirals, look at your sizes, think about the machines that you want to use, look at the cost. I highly suggest, if you can do it in-house, do it in-house, but do what works for you. When I first started, I sent everything to Office Depot to print. But Office Depot, when they print items, they don't do a lamination cover. They do a lamination sheet. So it's just a cover protector. So, you do. When you know better, you do better. So that's what I have to say about that. What was the last template? That was $12.99. The last template that was $12.99. This was the A5 template. That is $4.99. And then that's on Old Paper Ring. And then she also has these that are here. So you have this L guide that I used when I put my chipboard together. And then I use this cutting tool right here when I put it together. And those are here. Put my tools up, sorry. Oh, went back again. And find the stuff on. Okay, sure. Let me log back in. Sorry. So this right here is going to be here for $13.99. And this, the corner cutter, is here for $6.99. But she has tons of stuff on her site. You can go through and see which tool you may need. And as I said earlier, I have tons of her tools. So what I may do is just do various lives showcasing how to use those tools. All right. Does anyone have any more questions? Any more questions? All right. You're welcome, Chandra. So if no one has any more questions, I want to say thank you all so much for joining in. Please know that this live will be available as a replay on my YouTube channel. So Chanel and Cade, go to my YouTube channel. Links in my bio. Royal Statements is the name on YouTube as well, and I'll post this video there. Just give me some time to upload it and everything, but it'll be there at least by tomorrow. You should have it there to stop and rewind and everything. So all of the links I talked about, you can pause and watch there. But thank you all so much for joining me. And again, this is my last live for the month of July. I will be hosting monthly lives from now on. I do not have a date or a time set, but I will be going live once a month once things get settled down for me in August and I can look at my schedule and see what it works best for me. But whenever I go live here, I will then put the replay up on my YouTube channel once it has been done. So as always, if you have any questions, please inbox me. You can email me at royalstatementsc@gmail.com. And yeah, ask away. And thank you all for joining. This has been a fun time for me. And I hope you enjoyed it as well. And thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to follow me here on TikTok and on YouTube so you can be aware the next time that I go live and watch other videos I've already posted. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome. Thank you all so much for joining me. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Oh, yes, Miss T, I do have an Amazon affiliate link that is also in the link in my bio. Let me see. The link is in my bio. That is there. Sorry, I'm going back looking at comments now. So yeah, that link is in my bio for all that stuff. So yes, thank you all so much. And you all have a wonderful, wonderful night. And take care. Bye-bye.